So, of course, we say a very special good afternoon to everyone who is joining the live at this moment. We know that today, for many Dominicans, it's somewhat of a deja vu moment where 5 years ago, the day kind of started off like this, where we were welcomed throughout the day with showers, and today, 5 years on, the one day before the official anniversary of Hurricane Maria, it seemed like 5 years ago, this is exactly what took place. So, of course, today, what we intend on doing is just hearing a few of the stories from citizens across the island who dealt with Hurricane Maria and what it's been like for them 5 years on today with all of the rain and what they're going through. So, we are here in the Roseau Central constituency where we have, specifically in Virgin Lane, where we have one of the residents here, and this is Mrs. John Baptist, and she will introduce herself, and she will be the first one that we feature today, who will tell us her Hurricane Maria story and what it's been like for her 5 years later. And of course, we intend on speaking to a lot more citizens across the island to just hear their story today and how they dealt with it 5 years on, their overall feedback. So this is our feature for today. So hi, good afternoon to you, Mrs. John Baptist. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine. Mrs. John Baptist, and can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, please, and to our viewers, please?
Well, my name is Carol John Baptist. I live here in Virgin Lane on this tent since after Maria. It was the 10th.
Okay, well, we will go ahead and we will talk about your living conditions a bit further down. But Mrs. John Baptist, today, the 5th year, well, almost the 5th year anniversary, one day before the official anniversary. Can you tell me what you remember about 5 years ago, today, the 17th of September? How did the day start off for you?
Well, it didn't start off good, because a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and then I decided, well, my husband was inside the house, and then when he see that, he can take what I pack up and go. So I went by a friend, me and my son, we went by a friend, and there we stayed till everything calmed down and whatever, and he stayed there. But when he see the house is going down, when he see things starting to get stronger, he went and he said he coming and meet us. By the time he come, my neighbors and them call him, and he went by my neighbor and them. He went by my neighbor and them to get shelter and whatever. And there he spent his time, and then after a while he come and check me and my son and see how we doing and whatever, and things like that. And then after it calmed down a little, I came out on the road and watching other things happening. I said, what? I cannot believe Maria do all that. Because Maria was worse than Hurricane David. I saw Hurricane David. I can tell somebody. I was 10 years during the time of Hurricane David. I was still in primary school when Hurricane David. I can tell somebody how Maria was worse than Hurricane David. See the amount of people that died during Maria and Hurricane David. Hurricane David started in the day, but Maria night time.
Okay, so for you, what we're hearing is you did not weather Hurricane Maria at that specific location. You went and sought rescue somewhere else. And initially, when you got out of where you sought comfort that evening, when your first reaction when you saw around did you think that what was your initial thought? I'd love to find out. Waking up that morning on the 18th of September, today, almost 5 years ago, what was your original thought?
Because I went to work that day, and when I came back in the afternoon, my husband told me, well, you have to pack up because things maybe getting worse. So I leave him there, and I went and I had to pack up. I had packed up some things already, but I still continue packing up. Then after he told me, you have to leave, because they said, you might eat us anytime. So I say, what? I tell my son, let's go, and we go by my friend. There we stay. We stayed on the she was going upstairs. There we stay under the step on. Everything comes down. Everything
So you endured the entire storm, Category 5 storm. Oh, let's just take your umbrella. You endured the Category 5 storm on the on the step. I'm sorry, the rain is coming down. Okay, but you'll just continue. So you said you enjoyed the Category 5 storm for the entire evening with your son underneath a step.
Yes, me and my friend.
Wow. And can you just tell me, when you came back, and this is where you were staying, what was your thoughts when you came back and you saw that your home where you had with your family?
I say everything mash up. Everything mash up. All my clothes, my shoes, everything mash up. What I was more dry, I take and I go in, and then we went to the school there. But they say they didn't give us permission to the school. But we didn't have no choice. They said they didn't give us permission to go, but we didn't have no choice to go there and rescue ourselves. There we stayed until after they bring the tent for us. They give us the tent. And since that time, it's there staying. Government, they passing the homeless time and never checking me. I don't know how many times to them, they never checking me.
Okay, and can you just tell me, for the past 5 years, like you said, this tent, who donated the tent to you?
Some, I think it's some, I can't remember the donation, no, but
Some international organization.
Yes.
So the international organization, they donated the tent for you. If you can just move aside so we can give the viewing public the opportunity. So this is where the John Baptist family, they've been residing for the past 5 years. Tomorrow will officially mark the 5th year anniversary. So this is where they've been residing. So we're just going to... And how many of you reside under the tent, have been residing under the tent for the past 5 years?
It's me and my husband are sleeping there now
Just
because of how the condition of there is. I send my son by my neighbor next down next door.
Okay, so...
Yes, so there is sleeping.
Okay. And for you, for the past 5 years, staying underneath the tent, I know today, well, yesterday we heard that Tropical Storm Fiona, we heard the scare that Dominican, there's a likelihood that we may have been hit. Thank God we were not affected as with the other Caribbean countries. What it's like for you during the hurricane season when you hear that there may be a storm approach?
I don't be afraid for that not to fall down.
It's typically fearful.
Yes, it's fearful for me not to when I under that, every time the wind blow in, I don't mind the rain, but wind. Every time the wind blow in, I just say, oh, Lord, help me. I say, Lord, help me.
And last evening, how was last evening for you? Was it the same?
It was just badly, because some of them, like it's tearing up. It's tearing up. But it gets thing, so it's tearing up.
Throughout the past 5 years, over the past 5 years, I'm sorry, have you all have you had to reinstall new tents, remove this one and put in
No.
So this is the original tent that was installed for you 5 years ago.
I take a tarpaulin and put over it, but I still have another tarpaulin to put over it.
Okay. And would you mind disclosing how old are you and your husband, you all's age? Is that something that you would mind highlighting or no?
Okay, I know I'm 55.
55.
I'm 57.
Okay. And this is where you and your husband, you all have reside for the past. What about family members? Is there any family member that has offered to house you all within that past 5 years?
No, nobody.
But he has offered. And I know that, of course, we don't want this to be political, but I know that. Go ahead.
I have a piece of land. There are people that say they will help me to build it. But up to now, I don't hear nothing from nobody. I don't hear nothing from nobody. Up to now, that say they will help me to build the house. Up to now, I don't hear nothing from nobody.
Okay. And of course, we've heard from the officials that they have, and we want to stress this, that this is a non-political matter. We're just hearing the stories of Dominicans today. But of course, we heard that the officials, they've come to you and they've offered you their assistance. And you've...
That is not true. They're saying what they want. The lady come there. She take my name, she took my husband's name, she talked to us, she tell us, if she give us a piece of land, I tell her where I have the land. She told me If she give me material to be accept it, I tell her yes, I will accept the material. Up to now, they didn't ask me what I said.
Okay, you've not yet received the assistance. Have you all written to anybody else or visited any other of the international organizations that have been on island offering assistance to build homes? Are you all hearing anything from them?
No,
In terms,
nothing.
you all are not hearing nothing.
Nothing.
So, Ms. Jean-Baptiste,
There are people overseas that are willing to help, that willing to help me, but I don't hear nothing from them right now.
not hearing anything from them. Ms. Jean-Baptiste, overall, in your opinion, tomorrow, of course, we know today is just the eve of Hurricane Maria when it officially made the landfall. But overall, in your opinion, over the past 5 years, if you have to describe it and what your family has been through, how would you describe the past 5 years?
Terrible for me, terrible, terrible. I wish I was in a good place. I wish I was in a good place to stay.
You wish you could have somewhere
Yes,
else.
somewhere else to stay.
Okay. And what about if someone would like to, well, of course, I see someone asking which village is this? We are in the Roseau Central area, Virgin Lane.
Close to the St. Martin School.
Close to, yes, right next to the St. Martin's primary school.
And secondary school.
Secondary school, I'm sorry. So,
And primary school.
yes. So, and if someone would like to contact you, I mean, they would like to provide you with assistance to possibly help you get off your feet. How can someone do so in terms of providing you with
I'll give
assistance?
my number. 225-9638.
225.
They can get me direct or they can get me on WhatsApp.
Okay, so it's once again, it's 225-9638.
Yes.
9638. Overall, is there anything in particular that you all, your family, you all are in need of, that you all are in dire assistance of, or is it housing that's your number one priority?
Well, I will need a house. If I get a house and other things, if I get other things and a house, I would just like somebody to help me with my house.
And you only have one child, you mentioned?
No, I have 2 children, but
Yeah.
the 2 others by my sister. I have 2 other children.
Okay.
But up with my sister in Point Michel.
So since that time, since after Hurricane Maria, you've had to go ahead and allow your family members to care for your children.
No, they were with my sister before that.
Okay. So they were before. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
Yes.
They were before.
Yes.
Okay. And overall, is there anything else that you wish to share with us about your Hurricane Maria story? What are you hoping for? I mean, it's 5 years since we've had the passage of Hurricane Maria. You have your own story where you said you dealt with the storm underneath a step for the evening, and 5 years on, outside of yourself, in terms of the nation, do you see any other development? How do you believe the nation has dealt with it 5 years later?
Well, I don't see no improvement yet. There are a lot of people that still under, just like me, and they don't get in help. There are people that need help and they don't get in. And those that don't need help, instead of getting, I see I need help. Bad. But I'm not getting help, and other people getting help.
You would like to help. Okay.
Yes.
So,
I need a lot of help.
okay. So your overall call 5 years later is just for someone to help you and your family to
Yes, to get a home.
get
So
a house.
just put it on my land for me.
Okay. And where is your land located?
Point Michel.
Your land is located in Point Michel. It's registered and everything under your name in the community of Point Michel.
It's my auntie that before she died, she said she has a gift to give me, and she gave me that piece of land.
Okay. So, would you want to? It's entirely up to you. Would you want to give the public a preview, a slight preview of inside, or we can respect your privacy if that's not something you're comfortable with?
No.
Okay, no problem. The outside is fine. So, of course, we are here in Virgin Lane, and of course, this is the first individual for the day that we're interviewing. This is Mrs. Jean-Baptiste. 5 years later, well, tomorrow will officially mark the 5th year anniversary, but 5 years later, she's telling us that this has been a living condition for the past 5 years. An international organization erected this tent for her following the passage of Hurricane Maria, and this is where she and her husband, Mr. Jean-Baptiste, they've had to endure the past 5 years. So as we're hearing from her, her. It's been a rather difficult 5 years, and she's just appealing to someone out there to provide her with assistance. And so right now, is there anything else that you wish to share with us? Anything else that you wish to say before we move ahead and interview someone else?
Because that finger is a bad thing, you know, under that finger is a bad thing. See, the thing is making like the kind of green thing, like mock, like what they calling it there. You cannot, my son cannot stay under that because my son does get seizures. He cannot stay under that. That's not good for him.
Wow. So of course we just thank you for sharing your Hurricane Maria story with us today and what you've been through for over the past 5 years. And of course we know that many Dominicans, they have a story to tell, and this is our goal today, to see if we can get as many Dominicans as possible to share the Hurricane Maria story with us and what they've been through. Of course we'll highlight the good, and of course many stories will be good, and of course we'll hear stories like Mrs. Jean-Baptiste, and she's saying it's not been as good for her. But Mrs. Jean-Baptiste, thank you for taking the time out and speaking to us today.
Thank you very much for coming and interviewing.
You're welcome. Once again, can you provide us with your contact for just someone who may have missed it? Yes, and they would like to...
225 9638.
9638.
Or direct or WhatsApp.
Direct or WhatsApp. Okay, thank you so very much for sharing your story.
More people, let more call me on WhatsApp.
Okay, on WhatsApp. She can be reached on WhatsApp. Okay, we thank you for sharing your story. Do enjoy the rest of your day. And we thank our viewers for tuning in to this. This is just part one of, the Hurricane Maria story. This is Mrs. Jean-Baptiste's story. We're going to make our way around the island and to hear some more stories. So you never know, Dominican News Online might be in your area, knocking on your door to hear your story.